Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Strata Live. My name is Michael, and we are excited to have you. We're coming at you live on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Zoom. And we're excited to have you all. Now, you can join in and you can write to me because we actually have some special announcements today, and we're really excited to get your feedback. And I have an iPad here, so I can actually read your comments. So you can make comments on YouTube, you can make comments on LinkedIn, you can make comments on Instagram and on Zoom. And we're going to be able to talk about what we're doing today and demonstrate it, because today we have officially launched invitations and sharing. And this is really a big deal. There's a lot of products out there that have some sharing mechanism, but not like Strata. There's a lot of products out there that have an invitation mechanism, but not like Strata. What we're doing is completely counter cultural to what everybody else is doing. This is all about inviting and collaborating without paying for clouds. And now you can invite people directly to drives without having to upload anything. And I'm talking about connecting 500 terabytes of media to a computer and sharing all of it for free. That's what we're building here, a completely available, accessible world that doesn't require cloud storage. And it's awesome. Before we get into that, I want to share some of the people that are here to help us make this possible. My brother and co-founder is here, and he's going to be helping us with a live part of this demo where I'm going to ask for your help. We've got Margot, we've got Shannon, and we've got Austin, our head of engineering. And together we can answer your questions and we can field those questions. So the more that you can sign up and communicate and write in questions, the better. All right. Here's something really excited that we're very proud of. We want to thank Cine D and we want to thank Cine Gear for winning a Best of Show award. This is a picture of the Best of Show award. We just showed invites and sharing, right? I just mentioned you can invite and share. We just showed that 2 days ago at the Cine Gear Expo in Los Angeles, and we won a Best of Show award. So we're so excited that the community recognizes that. We love Johnny, we love Nino, we love Jackie at Cine D. They're amazing. They have a great publication. They have a great circulation. They have great articles, great insight, great podcasts. So check out Cine D. But they also recognized what we did in workflow. We just changed workflow maybe forever. And there's a great interview with Johnny that you should check out. I don't know, Pete, if you want to put that in the chat. There's a great interview with Johnny that he's just like, this is too good to be true. Look, we don't want this to be magic. It's not magic. It's just good tech, right? Good tech can feel like magic, but it's real technology. Taking a ProRes file that's 1,500 megabits per second and playing it across the world on a cell phone hotspot and not having to upload it. That's not magic. It's great technology. And so we want to show it to you. Now, if you want to see it in person, tomorrow in Los Angeles at Atlas Lens Co., we are doing this live and we're showing a camera to cloud workflow at Atlas. So if you're in LA and you miss Cine Gear or you're looking to connect with more people, you should really come at 10:30 tomorrow, June 11th at Atlas Lens Co. You can look up their address. They're in Burbank, California. It's an amazing space, an amazing office, amazing lenses. These are the Mercury lenses. You're going to get hands-on. You're going to get some training. You're going to get some exposure. And we're going to show a completely new workflow on how to take cameras and connect them to your collaborators. And we're showing this in a way that like nobody has done before. It's crazy. It's a new version of camera to cloud, and it's even more exciting than one that I had the pleasure of spearheading a few years ago, because this is just even more powerful because there's no cloud. It's better, and that's the beauty of this. So come visit us at Atlas tomorrow at 10:30. We'll spend 90 minutes together. You'll meet people, you'll get cool tech, you'll see a new workflow, we'll hook you up, and we'll be able to shake hands. So we hope to see, if you're in Los Angeles, tell your friends, come to Atlas at 10:30 tomorrow, Wednesday. Okay, Strata is in beta, and that means you can access it for free right now, and we want you to try it out. Now, here's why this is something that I'm really passionate about. All of us keep getting these messages, right? Like your Dropbox is full, your Frame.io is full, your Google Drive is full, your iCloud's full, right? You're getting these, right? Now think about it. When is that going to go away? Never. It's never going away because you're going to keep shooting, you're going to keep uploading, you're going to keep collaborating. Did you know that 80% of teams are now working remotely, right? Creative teams now work remotely. That's pretty normal. So how do you work remotely? Well, we've been taught that you have to upload to the cloud, but that's where you're going to get more of these Dropbox full, Frame.io full, Google Cloud full, LucidLink full, right? iCloud full. They're going to keep happening. And so this isn't really a sustainable solution because as we keep shooting and growing, we're going to keep ending up doing this in such a way that we are always having a problem with the storage. So this is what Strata is all about, solving this problem. See, because when we think about it, your camera files are too big, right? Blackmagic's got a 17K camera. I have a 12K Ursa. Like these are huge cameras, right? Sony Venice, red cameras, Arri cameras. The camera files are too big, right? And so we can't put those in the cloud. Also, your internet's too slow. Most of us only have internet that's around 30 megabits per second. That's the average. So that's a problem, right? So, we got a problem there. And then the third one is the cloud is just too expensive. Even if you have unlimited internet bandwidth, which some of you do, and you're lucky, I don't have it. You still can't afford to put it all in the cloud because raw files in the cloud take up too much space. And a terabyte of storage in the cloud is 40 times more expensive than a terabyte saved on a hard drive. Here's a little 2 terabyte hard drive here. In the cloud, it's 40 times more expensive. I think this was about $80. And in the cloud, it's going to be more like $80 a month forever, right? It's way more expensive to have that in the cloud. So this is a really, really different paradigm. And then I think of it also like this. One of the things we've learned when you're collaborating, we all use these tools, Frame.io, Dropbox, WeTransfer, LucidLink, Box, right? Like these are all tools you use. But what we learned when we talk to users, and you ask yourself if this is true, only about 10% of your footage is actually stored in a cloud. Is that true for you? Do you store more than 10% of your files, your total files in the cloud? Probably not. Some people only store 5%, which means most of your footage is not available, right? Now, wouldn't it be great if you could have access to 100% of your files? That's what we've invented. Strata allows you to connect any drive and you can access 100% of the assets on that drive, even if they're not video assets. And you can share them. You can invite people to the drives, which I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. And you can download those files. And if it's a video or audio file, you can play it back without uploading it. Think about that. You're playing back files remotely. There's no upload. And you have access to 100% of the pie. This is why Johnny at Cine D said, this is too good to be true. But it's great technology. And it's born out of suffering. We were paying $1,500 a month for Frame.io, Slack, and LucidLink. We use Frame.io for our collaboration, LucidLink for our remote editing, and Slack for our communication. And it was costing us $1,500 a month. And we just said, this is just too much. There's got to be a better way. And we always still had to have access to a large RAID to hold of all our files. And we said, if a cloud is just your files on someone else's hard drive, why can't it be your hard drive? And that's the feedback we started getting from our users. And we built Strata Agents. Strata Agents allows you to literally become your own cloud. And you're able to do that. Now, this little picture here is an 8 terabyte SanDisk. That's not a special hardware appliance. Any drive you want to connect to your computer can instantly become a cloud, including camera cards and camera magazines. It can be a NAS, it can be a SAN, it can be a file system that you soft mount like LucidLink or Avid Nexus, and it can be camera cards. It can be USB sticks. It can even be your local desktop. All of that is accessible in Strata, and you can share it all for free to your collaborators. It's really crazy. How do you get started? Well, the first thing you do is you go to strata.tech, which you should do right now if you haven't yet, and you should sign up. When you sign up, you're able to download an agent. When you download the agent, you install the agent, and the agent lives in the top of your Apple menu bar. Now, once you install that, you're able to use these little check boxes to connect drives. And when you connect a drive, you can share those drives with anyone else in the world. Once you do that, you log into your Strata account on Chrome, which you can log in anywhere, or anyone else can log into their Strata account on Chrome, and they can see your files remotely. And there's no uploading. There's no uploading required for this. And there's actually no credit card required to do this. This is the initial step of our free plan that allows you to connect unlimited drives, invite unlimited people, and then they can play back and even download the files, unlimited downloads. That's all part of our free plan, which you can sign up for and use today. I think we learned last night, 130 people signed up for Strata just last night. We went to bed and we woke up and 130 people had signed up. So it's starting to really get exciting. People are trying this. And it's, again, it's not magic. It's just good tech. And that's what we want you to experience. Now, I want to teach you how to invite someone to your drive. So I'm going to put you all on the spot. I'm looking for someone out there who I don't know. I can't really see you because I'm just looking at a camera lens right here. I would like to know if someone wants to try this with me now. And so what I'm asking is for you to send a message in the messenger to my brother, Peter, who's watching it, and send them your email. You have to sign up for Strata. You have to have a Strata account. And then I'm going to invite you to a drive on my desk, and I want you to play it back remotely. And if you're willing, you can join this Zoom live. This is not rehearsed. I'm doing this completely unrehearsed. This is totally off the script. I'm going to invite you to join the Zoom, and then you'll share your screen and you'll play the file back from this drive, which isn't even connected. We're going to play it back live and see if you can access the drive and play the file back, and then maybe even download a file. I want to try to do all that live, but what I need is someone who's brave to sign up for Strata right now and give your email to my brother. And if two of you do that, that's fine. We can do it with both of you. We'll try to break it with multiple users. I don't care. So I want to see if you're willing to try this. And then you got to jump on a Zoom and you're going to be part of this live Zoom. So if you're willing to do that, let my brother know. And you got to give him your email so that he can let me know, because I have to get that message somehow, Pete. And then we have to invite those people to my Strata account. So that's what I want to do. So that's an invite for you to participate. Let's prove this. Let's prove this works by you not having any knowledge that I wanted to do this, signing up, and I'm going to connect a file to you, and you're going to play it back, and neither of us are going to upload anything. It's going to happen really powerful. So while hopefully that's happening, I don't know if I'm talking to a ghost, but hopefully that's happening. I want to show you how this actually works. So I'm really, really excited. So if you remember, the first thing that has to happen is we have to have our agent here. So if you look here, this is the agent inside of Strata. So when it lives in the top of your menu bar, and then you can choose what folders you want to share with people. So it's really, really easy to share folders. Then at the bottom, we have external connections. So if you can see this drive, it says Michael. This drive, it might be really small, but this drive says Michael. And this is just a little bus-powered nano rocket. It's called a nano rocket by Sabrent. I do like these. So I'm going to connect this drive directly to my computer. And now what's going to happen is you're going to see Strata's going to recognize the drive Michael. There it is. So this is how easy it becomes. As soon as I connect the Michael drive, this checkbox allows it to be part of the cloud. Before I click that checkbox, I'm going to go to my Strata account right here. And if you look right here on the left, this says Mr. Cioni. That's my laptop. And there is an essence of the drive, but the drive is not online yet, right? See, it's not connected. I had connected it before, so Strata can see that drive, See, but it's blank. It's not there. I can't see it. It's not accessible, right? So we can't see that drive. So what am I going to do? I am going to now click the Michael button, and look what happens. As soon as I refresh my browser, we now have the Michael drive, and there is the Michael drive connected. So I've connected that drive directly to my Strata account. So now I have the ability to look through the drive, and I have the ability to search through any file. And inside of the files, I can play back whatever I want. And here I'm going to play back the movie National Treasure. And so I'll skip to the middle of the film. And now we're playing back the film National Treasure off this little drive, which is a feature-length film that I can start playing back. But remember, there's no uploading. Even though I'm in Chrome, I have access to it locally, but I can give access to anyone else in the world if I want to share them specific media. So I know we're working on a volunteer right now. Pete's working on that. So while we're working on that, let me show you this. This is a live webcam of another computer system, another edit system. So you're seeing a live webcam of a computer edit desk. And let's look at this a little closely. Well, we can see this right here is a Mac Studio. That's an M3 Studio, and that's the main computer. Then if you look outside of that, you can see a big RAID here. This is an OWC Thunder Bay. I love the OWC Thunder Bays. This is 132 terabytes for under $5,000. Really good deal, really high performance. And then I've got another OWC and another OWC. And then these little bus power drives are Glyph drives. So I've got my Glyph drives there. I've got the SanDisk here. I've got another OWC. And I've even got a red camera card there. So that's a red mini mag and a LaCie drive. If you look up at the desktop, you can see all those drives are mounted on that computer. So the computer can see something like 8 drives, plus there's a LucidLink account. So I have a soft mounted LucidLink account as well. So when you look at this, you're seeing all of this media right here. Now, check this out in Strada. If I go to Strada, right here, this Mac Studio is the computer we were just looking at. And we can see these are all the drives that are connected to that computer. And so I can browse through any of these drives. So if I go to the OWC, I can grab a 4K ProRes clip and look at how big these files are. 26 gigs, 36 gigs. Right? Huge files, right? And if I go back and I play back this file, I'm now playing back a 36 gigabyte file. Think how big this file, how 36 gigs on your internet, what would that take to upload? For some of us, it would take 4 hours to upload a file that big. But remember, this file is playing back from this drive. This is the drive that's playing back. In fact, if I squeeze this over to the side and then let's see here. I'm going to try to grab this right here, and I squeeze this over. It's a little crazy, but look at this. If I pause this drive, if I pause the video, the drive's going to stop blinking, right? And then if I hit play, the drive's going to start blinking again, right? If I pause the file again, the drive's going to stop. And if I go to a new asset and start playing it, the drive's going to blink. You see that? This drive contains the file. That's not my drive. That's not on my computer. That's a remote computer, and I'm accessing 4K files off of this drive remotely. I can do this across the ocean. You don't have to upload it to share it. And for years, we've believed that in order to share a file, you have to put it in a cloud. Oh, I think Shannon's covering up my screen, but that's okay. Hey, Shannon, we can see you. Essentially, that's the beauty of what we're able to, oh, it's Betty. That's so funny. Okay. Betty's cleaning the desk right there. Well, that happens. And that's totally fine. That's really funny. So look, this is live, and that's what happens when you're live. You got the housekeeper cleaning a hard drive while you're working. I love it. So we are able to access files across the ocean. And across the ocean, you don't have to upload files. And that's what's really, really exciting. Now, qualitatively speaking, you might ask, well, how good is the quality? Well, I know this is being reshared through like Zoom and YouTube and stuff like that. But hopefully you can see here, the quality of these files is awesome and it's fast. And so if I switch to like the next asset, I can go through the next take, the next take, the next take, and I can see the files play back. And this is the beauty of our system: is it's high quality, it's fast, and it's dynamic in the bandwidth. So check this out. If I look at, if I can go back to that drive, this is going to be too hard to see. Yeah, it's going to be too hard to see. But right here is the actual speed of the drive. It's too low quality. I don't have enough internet to make this work, but it's too low of a quality. But basically, what's happening is Strada is taking the ProRes file. Remember, this ProRes file is really big, right? This 23 gigabyte take, it's actually about 1,500 megabits per second. What's happening is we're taking 1,500 megabits per second and we're encoding it into an H.265 in 200 milliseconds, like almost at the blink of an eye. It's real fast. So we can take a huge file and make it into a tiny file instantly. So it's like an instant transcode, and then you get to stream that transcode remotely. So you don't have to have access to a ProRes file in order to have access to a ProRes file. Do you get it? You're taking a ProRes, you're compressing it down so fast, and then you're able to see it stream to you, so you don't have to move the file in order to see it. Taro Nomad says, with Strata, will we need to upload the files for transcription and logging? Okay, so Taro, I don't want to confuse anyone here, and forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong. Strata, basically, we had originally built an analytics product in the cloud, and that might be what you're referring to for transcription and logging. We built that in the cloud in 2024. What our users told us was this slide right here. They told us that only 10% of their files was in a cloud. So when they wanted to analyze and transcribe their files, most of their files were on a hard drive. So they were unable to access those drives, right? So they told us they want us to build a solution to connect their local drives. And that's what Strata Agents is. Now, what that means is we do not have analytics and transcription today on Strata Agents, but it means we can have it in the future. So we don't want you to have to upload files to analyze them. You don't want to upload files to analyze them. Every product that makes you do that makes it expensive. We are going to build analytics and transcription to work on your computer, which is the edge, to work at the edge, not in the cloud. And that is what we're going to be releasing in the future. So really great question. That technology is coming. And you remember I was saying how fast you can adjust files, right? Remember, we said we're taking files and we can convert them almost instantly in the blink of an eye. I'll prove it to you. Here is that movie National Treasure, and I want to show you how fast we're able to convert these files. I'm going to skip to the end and I'm going to click it in 3, 2, 1, click. That's how fast it gets to the end. I'm going to go to the middle. 3, 2, 1, click. That's how fast. I can go to the beginning. I can go to the end, right? I can go to the very end. See, what's happening here is we are encoding the file so fast that we're taking a big file, making it small, and there's no buffering. You know, when you're in a cloud, if you're going to skip to the end of a product or a project in the cloud, it's got to buffer, right? Not with Strata. There's no buffering. We're able to skip to whatever frame you need to be because the drive is driving it, not the cloud. So it's way faster. MOC Filmmaker on Instagram says, any new Strata features added since last month? Well, we have released last Thursday. So MOC, last Thursday, we released our ability to released our ability to invite people. Now, I want to prove an invite is possible. So what I need you to do, if you won't share your email on this live, that's fine. So what I'd like you to do is send an email to beta@strata.tech. That's what you need to do. That kind of makes sense. So if you send your email to beta@ Strata.tech. This is where I want you to send your email here. I want you to send us an email, and then we will invite you. I'll stop sharing my screen, and I'll invite you to the actual account, because I want to invite someone. So MOC Filmmaker, you're saying what's new? I can invite people to my drives and share files with them. I want to do that with you, but you got to give me an email to invite, because I got to invite you, and then you can play the file back. So you have to have a Strata account, and then you got to invite. So hopefully someone will send an email to beta@strata.tech. There's the email. If a bunch of you want to do that, I'll share it with a bunch of you, and I'll hide my screen for a moment while I type in the invitation, and then you'll be able to do it. So that's what we're going to do. So while we're doing that, I want to show another really cool feature, and that is over here. So what we're able to do is we are able to share any level of access. For example, if I want to give someone access to the root of this drive, right? So let's say I have the Michael drive here, and I want to give them access to the root of the drive. I would just click the invite button right here. So MOC Filmmaker, this is the big news right here. Once I hit invite, I want to show you that again. I click on a drive. That drive is literally connected right here. I click the right button and I say invite. When I go to invite, now I could invite my brother, Peter, at strata.tech. And now when I invite Peter, Peter is going to get an email that tells him he was invited to the drive. Now, because I clicked here, he has access to the root of the drive, so he can see anything on the drive, everything that's there. But what if I don't want to share the entire drive? I just want to share one directory. So look on this Michael drive. I could see there's a folder here called old. I've got a folder here called NAB25. I've got a folder called Harlow. So I'm several files deep. You can see right here, I'm several layers deep. And then I see this folder called 1080 colored dailies. Well, if I go into 1080 colored dailies, now I see a bunch of color corrected dailies. What if I just want to share this folder? Well, I hit the plus button right here. See the plus button? And when I click that, it says invite to 1080 colored dailies. This is how you invite people to a specific directory. You navigate to the directory. You can see again the tree here. Mr. Cioni, Michael, old, NAB, Harlow, dailies. Hit the plus button. And now I can invite Peter at strata.tech. And now when I invite Peter, he has access to the folder. So that is available right there. And now you can see Peter's icon appeared right there. See that? That wasn't there a moment ago. He wasn't invited to this directory. Now he is. In fact, if I press the plus button, you can see Peter is now right there, and he's listed as a viewer. But look at this. There is a new layer coming soon. So MOC Filmmaker on Instagram, is there anything new? Well, that invite is brand new. But the other thing is we have the editor mode coming soon. Editor mode will allow Peter, in this case, right? Peter right now is a viewer. Once I give him edit access, he can load files back to the drive. Think about that. Like, pause for a second. Today, I've invited Peter to my drive. He can view it and he can download files directly. And I'll show you how to do that. But what is going to happen with editor mode is Peter can then upload directly to my drive, and that's going to be really awesome. So here we go. We're going to have a participant. I think Pete is typing. We've got a participant. And so I'm going to invite that person to this as soon as I get that. So I'm going to turn my screen sharing off for privacy. So just bear with me. And you just saw the experience. I'm going to now add the email. Okay. It's going to be MOC. Fun. Okay. So this will be really exciting. So there we go. I've invited you to it. So now well, I'm coming back here. So now you can actually see right here, I've added MOC, and there he is right there. There's MOC. I don't know. This is a great headshot. Very professional, very professional. They look great. So if you see this, Now they've been added to this folder. So I've given you access to this particular folder. That folder is literally on my desk. So what I want to know, MOC, is are you able to access the files and play them back? If so, then maybe you can write in the chat that that's happening, or you're going to give us, MOC is mock. Okay, so I say mock when. Okay, cool, mock when. You'll be able to give us your Zoom. Maybe you'll zoom in and we'll be able to see it. But you should be able to have access to all this stuff. And you can see in a nice design right here, we can see who has access. If I wanted to get rid of access, I can always remove people from having access, which is really good. So there's a question here from Eric. Support for Windows. Okay, this is a great question, Eric. And I want to triple check with Austin. So Austin, check me on this. We had a meeting yesterday, and we are on track to deliver Windows support by July 1st. Am I screwing that up, Austin? Okay, Austin's giving me the thumbs up. So July 1st, Eric, we are going to have Windows support. That's the first time we've announced that because we just made the decision to greenlight the engineering lift to make it happen yesterday. So we are pumped to bring Strata Agents to Windows. Now today, Eric, you can always be invited to an agent, and you don't have to be on Mac in order to use this because this is just Chrome, right? So you can just be in Chrome and make it work. So that's totally fine. You have to be on Mac Silicon today to support an agent, but you can be a recipient. You can be invited to a drive on Windows. That's fine. But Windows agent support is coming July 1st. So that's about 21 days from now. So Eric, stay tuned. We would love for you to be able to do that. So hopefully, Mock, when you are able to get access to this, you let us know if it's working out, because that's cool. Now, I'm getting a yes. He is in, and you watched it. Okay, so Mock was able to say he's watching, he's viewing the files, which is awesome. Like, that's really, really cool. He's able to see the files. Now, I don't even know what's happening. In fact, if I go to my activity monitor, I think Mock might be playing it now because I can see the data sent right now. It's about 2 to 3 megabits. I'm not playing. Maybe that is Mock playing right now, because here we are, 700 megabytes. He must be playing because I'm streaming on Zoom and he's playing back. And so this is probably why there's about 7 or 8 megabits per second going off my machine. So he should be able to, be able to make that work. But you can see my computer speeds, no big deal. Very, very, very low percentage of usage on my system. So my system's able to handle serving Mock live. By the way, Mock, thank you for doing that. Mock was not planned. He is just accessing. He just came onto this live and he was able to make it work. So that's pretty awesome, unplanned. And he's playing back the files off my drive. And it's not even taking up my whole system. It's happening and I don't even notice it. So that's really cool. In fact, I can go and I can play back a big file while he's playing a file. So I'll launch another big file and play it back at the same time. So this is pretty cool. We're both playing back files at the same time, and it should work just fine. Alton Christensen says, ask Mock. Mock, where are you based? Can you tell us where you're based? I don't actually know where you are. And it'd be cool to know geographically where you are physically since this is working. Now, Alton Christian says, with Strata, it would be great to see what the client side or shared side looks like. I need to be able to explain what they're looking at. Well, that's a great question. So, Alton, what they see is this. See, there are 2 sections here. Let me clean all this up because I have a lot of agents connected. I'm going to clean all this up so you can see. Okay, there are 2 sections to Strata. There is your agent. So if you are hosting media, that's the stuff connected to your drive. That's here for me. That's Mr. Cioni. It shows what I have access to since I'm logged in. What the client sees is shared with me, this area right here. They simply receive shares. And the shares tell them 2 things. First, it tells them who shared. So here I see Andrew's Mac Mini. It says where it's from. And then it says what was shared, the agent test. In fact, Andrews Mac Mini, this is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is 2,000 miles away from where I am. And I can click on these files and play them back from Minneapolis. So it's going to start the player, takes about 3 or 4 seconds. And now I'm playing back this file from Minneapolis. I know it looks like the same files before. It's a demo file we had before, but it's playing back from Minneapolis. So the client sees the shared with me section, and they simply have folders that were shared with them. And so here's an example where a lot of folders were shared with them. So you could share entire drives or projects or sets of folders. And when you click on them, you have full access to anything in there. This RAID right here is 132 terabyte OWC Thunder Bay. I have 132 terabytes. Do you know how much it would cost to have 132 terabytes accessible in the cloud? I mean, it would be like $100,000 a month. It would be insane. So look at this. If I go to build in public, it's going to load all those folders. I go to episode, all those folders. Click on an episode, all those folders. I go to the hero, and now I can see all the files that are listed in this. And here is a result. If I go back to this episode, I can see the host. Look at this. Here is a 200 gigabyte raw file that I'm playing back. Let me mute it. This is a 200 gigabyte file that I shot here a long time ago in this room, and I have access to it in Strata because it's on my giant RAID. So I don't have to upload and store a 200 gigabyte file just in case I need it. I have it. And if I want to skip to the end, I skip to the end. This is a 30-minute long file, and yet I can skip anywhere in this file. I have access. It's really, really powerful. I can browse the entire file system. So your clients, Alton, have access to the folders you give them. They click, they play, and that's what they get right now. If they want to download, that's the other thing. So Mock, if you're still there, Mock says he's in Vietnam. That is so great. We just did a live demonstration in Vietnam where I believe it's tomorrow in Vietnam. So that's amazing, Mock. You're up real late. So Mock, I would love you to download a file. So if Mock goes back to the folder that I shared with him, which I think is this nested folder here, Mock, you can go to a file and you can right click and hit download. And when you hit download, it will automatically kick off a transfer. And so you can see I'm transferring the file right now. And if I wanted to grab a few of them, Mock, I can right click and download a batch. And so right now, Strada is starting a batch of downloads. And so you can see I'm moving a whole bunch of files right now and transferring them. I don't need these files, but I'm going to let you try it. But you can see right there, you can grab assets and you can instantly pull them down really, really quickly. And this is your, downloads history, your job. You click on this little button up here and it will show you your progress. So Mock in Vietnam has been able to watch these files without me uploading, and now he can download them. Why is that powerful? Because Mock is about to do a peer-to-peer transfer. A peer-to-peer transfer means I'm not uploading to a cloud first. No WeTransfer, no Dropbox, no Google Drive. He's just accessing this drive right here. Mock, if you're still watching, if you're downloading from a drive that's in my hands. You've never done that before. Nobody's done it this way before. It's so bonkers for what we're building here. This is a social network for sharing and transferring. It's a completely different way of working. Alton, you're talking about like, what does the client see? Remember, the client not only can see the folders that you give them access to on your drive, they can share back to you their folders. So when you're working in a collaborative environment, while they will have a shared with me section, so will you, right? You have them run an agent, and then you can actually access folders and files off of each other's machines. So this is, see, the cloud often is looked at like a hub and spoke, where you put everything in a cloud. You pay a ton for that, by the way. You pay way too much. And then you are supposed to connect to that. But with Strata, it's a web. There is no central solution. There's no center to it. We want everyone to be accessing it. And so that's a completely different paradigm for how to access the files. So,
Michael?
Yeah.
Can you show, Mock asked about showing speed tests, and if you can also show your activity monitor.
Sure. Yeah, my speed test is terrible. So if I go to speed test, we'll run a speed test here, and then we'll do it. So we'll do the speed test first. So I have 500 or 600 down. So this is the down. And then once it switched to up in LA, we only get about 30, maybe 35 up. We don't get much up. So here's the down, and here is the up. 30 up, right? So 27, 28. So this is what Mock gets to work with. When you're doing a peer-to-peer transfer, you only get to work with what's the bottleneck. For me, it's that bottleneck. So if we go to my activity monitor and we go to network transfers, you can see, Mock, you're getting about 2.2, 2.5 megabytes up to 3, up to 4. So you're getting that. So if I said 4 megabytes times 8, that's 32 megabits. So we're getting about 30 megabits of upload. That's what you're getting, Mock. Hopefully I'm still broadcasting. But there you go, Mock. You're getting full bandwidth from me in the background while we're running this file. So hopefully you're able to get that file. And Mock is downloading about a gigabyte file right now from me direct from my computer, which is awesome. Drew Kilcoin's on here. Hey, Drew, it's good to see you. Drew is an amazing assistant editor and editor, really great creative filmmaker. And I had the pleasure of working with him at Light Iron like a dozen years ago, but it's good to see you, Drew. Drew, you need this for your team, right? Sharing all this access without uploading, like uploading sucks. Plus, Drew, you can connect it to an Avid Nexus and you can actually share directly out of the Nexus. Check this out, Drew. If I go here, this is just for you. If I go to testing formats and I go right here, I've got files. This is actually a DNX 444 UHD file. So this is an MXF wrapped Avid DNX file, and I can play that back. So I'm playing that back right here full screen. This supports DNX 4K. So we want you to know that even if you output DNX, you don't have to have the Avid make a smaller web file if you don't want. Just make a DNX output. It's faster. It looks better. And then Strada will convert it on the fly and give it to people that you share the file with. So there you go. That can help you. Alton asks, are the transfers HTTP? They're UDP. So we're using UDP for these transfers.
Michael, they are HTTP.
Oh,
the transfers.
Oh, the transfers. What's that?
It's a lot more complicated than that, but HTTP.
HTTP. Okay. Thanks for that, Austin. And then Alton says, with downloading, is it the proxy or the original? Well, this is really cool, Alton. So first, it's whatever the file is. So if you want to transfer a raw file, you can do that. Check this out. I'll show you an example of that. If I go to, where's this going to be? What's the best place to do this? If I go to this. So do you remember here in my live, do you remember this live YouTube live video here where we're cleaning the house? Okay. So if you look right here, I know it's a little blurry. If you look right there, that's a red mag. So this is for you, Alton. Check this out. Here's a red mag. So this is literally a camera card plugged into a computer. So imagine we're on a DIT station, right? We're on set connected to the data manager station. The card's right there. Well, if I take that card is shared in Strata Agents, and it happens to be right here. So if I look at the card, I can see all the files on that card, right? This is reading right off the card. And if I click that, I can see a couple of things. Down here, these are the actual raw files. So if I wanted to download the raw files, I could do that. These are really big. So if you're going to download peer-to-peer raw files, Strata lets you do that, but it's really large. So you just have to have the bandwidth to do that. But Red cameras also can shoot a proxy file. So that one's right here. So I can play the proxy file off the magazine directly, and I don't have to actually be limited to the raw file if I don't have access to it. So here is the proxy file, and you can see all these folders have a proxy with them. And so now I'm playing the proxy. I don't have to download the raw files if I don't want to. I could just download the proxy file and it would be smaller. Or someone could just watch the proxy file and they might not need to download it at all, right? But if you're going with this, we have something we want to make clear. We are building a function that allows you to transcode on transfer. So think about this, Alton. When you click on a file, it can be a big file like a ProRes or a DNX or someday a raw file. And if you said, I just want a low quality proxy, we will generate the proxy in real time as we transfer the file to you, which will be faster than real time, most likely. But we can convert the file and make a transcode on transfer. That's the roadmap. Today, you can download whatever the file is, proxy or raw. But in the future, we'll convert that raw to a proxy on the transcode. Isn't that going to be cool? That's coming this year. So it's really a game changer for access. Really cool. Dan on Instagram says, how is peer-to-peer in terms of balance and security and performance? In my experience, existing NAS-based link sharing solutions are very performant. So our files are encrypted in transit, and we're using the latest TLS 1.3 protocol. So there is end-to-end encryption in our peer-to-peer transfers, and we will continue to build additional security layers to that, but you'll get really good performance. In fact, we believe you'll be able to max out the available bandwidth between both peers. So you should test that out, Dan. Like, we want you to sign up, connect a drive, find someone with really good internet, and see if you can max out the transfer speeds. Because if you're able to max out the transfer speeds, this is so much faster than WeTransfer. It's so much faster than Dropbox. It's so much faster than Frame.io. And it's way, way, way cheaper because we're not even charging for you to connect, share, and download. We don't even charge for that. So this is a really, really great way. And we want to see that this works for you, Dan. So please try it and give us feedback. So Mock says, do you have to have tech to resume downloading due to a broken internet connection? So today, Mock, we are using the browser to do the transfer, but in hopefully a few weeks, hopefully in July, we will be able to use a more sophisticated layer. For you as a user, it will look the same. You right click and you hit download. Just like you do today. But in a few weeks, it will be more sophisticated. So we're not relying purely on Chrome for the transfer. And that is what we're working on now. So we're excited about that. So it should even get better. Alton says, does the client also need a Strata account to share files across two systems? So Alton, anyone who sends files, who's hosting files, needs to have an agent. Anyone who's accessing the files has to have a Strata account on both sides, right? You have to have a Strata account just to be able to log in to strata.tech and actually access the files and play them back. But an agent, remember, the agent is how you share files. That's this guy up here. The agent is only required for people that share files, that host files. So your clients don't need an agent, but they do need to sign up for this. Now, I will show you one little trick, okay? I'm going to show you something that we didn't show other people. So Alton, I remember you asked earlier about, clients and things like that. So I understand. I think you obviously, I don't know you, but I believe you obviously have a business and you need to share files with clients, and you're probably paying too much for Frame.io and Dropbox and Google Drive. And so you want an alternative, and I'm delivering that to you. So here's where we're going in the roadmap. This is not available just yet, but I want to show you where this is going. Here you can see I've got my Strata, and if I wanted to, remember today you invite people to a drive. Now that's going to require the client to access the files through an invitation, okay? But I agree, Alton, if I'm picking up what you're saying, invites are better for people that are inside your collaborative team because you want to invite people to drives and folders so that they can get the files and work. That's what it's for. But if you're sending it to a client, you don't always want to invite a client to something. You want to send an external link, right? And maybe that's what you're getting at. Well, we've thought of that, and I'm going to show you how it looks as we're developing it. Here, if I wanted to share these files, I could download them, but I could also create a review link. So see, I could create a review link here, and if I click review link, that will take me to the review link options where I can start working on the permissions. So if I work on the permissions, I can go in and turn on things like, are they allowed to do downloads? Can they have comments? Is there a passphrase? What's the passphrase? Is there a link expiration, right? And if there's a link expiration, what does that look like? And I could set a date. So these are all features for a review link where you're just taking an asset or a series of assets and sharing them externally, right? Once you do that, you'll be able to look here. This is your link library. And so we can see here, we've got Kira's MacBook Pro, we've got the Mac Studio. What's cool about our link library is it shows you who shared what, because remember, different people can share from different agents, which is why this is so powerful, is these could be on different computers. This computer might even be offline and hosting links. So you got to think about that. But here you can see you could share an actual single asset or a folder or a bunch of assets. You get a hyperlink to that, which all you need to do is copy that. And if I copy these hyperlinks, I could send that directly to the client. I can have a kill switch, so I could always make that active or inactive, and I can see how many views it has. So this is how you will do an external share, and they won't have to log in or have a Strata account. It just opens up a web page and there's a player based on the link. I also can look at whom I've invited to projects. So when you see here, this shows the folders that different people are invited to. And so as you grow and you invite more and more people, you might want to know, well, who's invited to this project or that project? You can control that. And if you want to eliminate someone, you can eliminate one person here and it will eliminate them on every folder they're connected to. So a really powerful way to connect. So let us know, Christian, if that solves the problem you're looking for. That's coming soon. Today you use invites. And what I just demonstrated, these are called shares, where you do a review link. That's more of a share. So hopefully that works. SNJ Filmmaker on Instagram. Thanks for joining. SNJ says, what are the types supported at the moment? And you can share what's planned. Okay, I'll do that. That's a great question to wrap it up this morning. So the files that we share today, we support things like XD-Cam. This is XAVC from Sony, H.264. We support ProRes 444, ProRes 422, ProRes, all the ProRes flavors. We support VP9. I think we support AV1, H.265, and DNX. So there's a lot of flavors that are supported today. If something's not working or it isn't supported, send us a file, which you can do by simply inviting us to a folder, and we'll download that file and we'll try to get it to work. You let us know. But that's what we want to do. It's a pretty good amount. Now, SNJ asked, well, what is coming in the future? Well, let me show you some stuff that we've got planned coming soon. First up, messaging. Now, we learned that a lot of you are using email and like WhatsApp to communicate. That's so clunky. That's so slow. You need a better way to communicate with your team, especially when your team is made up of freelancers. So we are building really a social networking style of messenger. And this allows you to invite other people in Strata accounts, and then you can actually have conversations and you can paste links to people's drives and you can share and communicate that way. That way you're able to be always communicating with your collaborators, and that's a messaging service. So that's coming hopefully in a few weeks. Next up is commenting. Commenting will be later in the summer, but commenting allows you to make notes on assets, time code accurate notes on assets as they're being delivered. So this is a really powerful way to work with this technology. So we're really excited about commenting. That's coming soon. What we are hoping for next is mobile. We're targeting September 15th for mobile. So imagine being able to share files on hard drives and access them on your phone. That's where this is. We're headed for September 15th. If we're lucky, we'll try to do that. So that's coming.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Mock just invited you to his hard drive. So if you want to check your email.
Oh, look at that.
He has 900 megabit up. So you can demonstrate that if you got it in an email.
I love it. All right. Let me go to my email here. Let's see here. I got to go to my email. Mock here invited me. All right, have to see. There it is. Mock invited me. So if you're still watching, Alton, this is the experience that a customer, a client would get. They get an email from Strata. It shows where who sent it. And now I have, look at this. So it looks like Mock shared me a folder called on, ANH. That's the drive. And then here is Mock Strata. He made a folder for me. And now I've got these beautiful shots that he's been able to shoot. And I can see, yeah, these are beautiful and they're coming in right now. So it looks like he sent me a whole bunch of files. It's establishing the connection right now. I believe this is from Vietnam, and I can browse and play back the files from Vietnam. So I'm literally playing files back off of Mock's drive. I don't know how many miles away Mock is. I'm guessing you're 6,000 to 7,000 miles away. These files look beautiful, beautiful aerials. Wow. Really great shots. And he's given me access to all his files here. So I can see this stuff coming in, and hopefully you guys can all see the quality of this. This is not magic. This is excellent technology. Mock in Vietnam, who I don't know, but now I really want to get to know you, has just invited me to his drive, and the files I'm playing back from Vietnam look incredible. And if I wanted to download this, I could hit download, and now I am doing a peer-to-peer downloading from Mock's drive. It's going to negotiate for a second, and it'll kick off this file right now. This is about a gigabyte file, I think. Yeah, just short of a gigabyte file. So we'll see if this kicks off any second here. It's amazing that we're able to do this. And so this is really the access we're talking about. And here it comes. So now it's coming down right now, and we can see how fast this is coming. So I'm getting a file transfer directly from Mock's drive in Vietnam, which is something like 7,000 miles away. And Mock's probably not even noticing it. It's just happening. You can see the speed that we're getting, and we can look at my activity monitor, and we can see here what we're getting down. So this is really, really, really great. I should look at it here. Yep, there we go. Yep, it's coming down right now. So I'm getting these files, and I'm about a quarter of the way downloading a gigabyte from Mock. And Mock didn't have to upload anything. And while that's happening, I can still browse his files. I can close this and actually see other assets while it's happening. So amazing. So you see, this is now shared with me. This is the drive that Mock just shared with me. He made a folder. I can only see what he shared with me. And I have access to all that, and the files are coming down. So that's really, really cool. While that's downloading, I want to finish up on my what's coming next. We are also going to be adding synchronous review, so you can review live synchronously, which is really cool. And then Pim Tim on Instagram says, it's great you're supporting Windows in the next 30 days. When that's ready, can you send files between Mac and Windows? Absolutely. Mac, Windows, Windows, Mac, 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 Windows, Windows. Absolutely. It's totally interconnected, Pim. So 100%, we are interoperable between Mac and Windows, hopefully by July 1st. So sign up now, get ready, get on our mailing list, start getting ready, because we want you on. And then SNJ Filmmaker says, in the future, will you be able to share sound files, Word documents, PDF? Well, so the answer is you can do that today, because I can go to files and I can look at audio files. That's totally fine. We have the ability to look at audio assets as well. So that's not a big deal. And you can download any type of file. So if I go to like headshots here, I guess, like here's Photoshop files. I can't read Photoshop files yet in Strata, but I could always download them. Eventually we will be able to display these files. So that's the goal. SNJ is like, we will have the ability to, you can use Strata today to move any type of file, and we will continue to improve what is visible. But this is a truly powerful collaboration platform that will work for anybody. Well, that was an exciting morning. And so I just want to end with an invitation to each of you. Remember, tomorrow we have Atlas Lens Day. If you're in LA, come to Atlas at 10:30 at Atlas. We're going to be doing a live demonstration of this, and we're going to be showing it with production, Strata with cameras, and how you can do a better handoff from production to post-production. And so we want to invite you, if you're in LA, to come to that tomorrow. And then we want you to sign up for Strata. Please sign up for Strata and give it a try. Tell your friends, invite someone, and start connecting and peer-to-peer downloading. Oh, speaking of peer-to-peer downloading, how did my download go? It is almost done. Mark, you're amazing. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us today and actually doing a Vietnamese transfer live. Like, that is not what I expected to happen today. So I'm so thrilled that this happened. And I think in 3, 2, 1, I've got the file. There it is. And we just transferred it. And now I can open it up. And now I have it local. Amazing. There's the file, full integrity, beautiful photography here. Really, really cool. And I've got the whole thing transferred. So we just moved a gigabyte file while we were doing other stuff in the background without having to upload to a cloud. That's the Strata story that we're trying to tell. And we are so excited to have you join us. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Discord.